Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we have another turn for you here in Hello Darkness. So it's turn 47, and things are heating up. I have kind of begged for peace. Beg is a strong word. I have suggested peace again to Caleb, because I knew it was going to be expensive, but we also issued a major defensive attack. We launched an attack on an army on top of one of our forts. It was a defensive move, but we were choosing to have the fight. And so anyway, that's going to be this turn. So that's going to be probably the most exciting part. But this is the first thing we have, and this is going to be fun. So Atlantis is all like, her to her to her to her. I have a lucky Earth Air random that I twice spawned and empowered in air. Or he did some empowering. This is one too many paths. It's either he empowered in air or Earth. And then it's got a heroic trait and all. And he's like, hardy har har, I'm going to come kill you with it. So you can never move armies out on me again. Well, let me tell you. Now, this wasn't the ideal gear set, and I probably should have prepared a little more. But this is basically what we have. Faithful, which is very meh for this. I really could have used something better. And I've made better stuff this turn. Like I have, what do you call it? The fire flail, the fire flail that just murders undead in one hit. Holy Scourge. Anyway, I made that this turn, but I didn't have it. But we do have a Dusk Dagger, and then this is importantly going to increase our defense, so it's less likely he's going to hit me. But that's actually not a very big concern for us in this particular case, because we have this guy spamming skeletons. And the way this works is if you do attack rear, the way the attack rear algorithm works is it basically means march down a side, and every time you pass an enemy, there's a chance you turn in to attack it. But in general, if you basically, if you don't turn in, you'll keep marching down the side until you get to the last enemy. And on the last enemy, you will definitely turn in, and then you're going to hit him from the flank. And that is exactly what is going to happen here. The other thing that's important, and why this is important for thugging and anti-thugging, is the way the attack algorithm works for Dominions is they don't attack randomly in front or behind. They will always attack in front. I think their preference is... I can't remember. I think their preference is to attack in front of them, but if there's nobody in front, they will attack behind. And if there's nobody behind, then they'll start hitting one of the sides, and there may be an order to which one of the sides they hit. But in this case, he's never going to swing at this Grand Lemur even once. Meanwhile, Home Slice here is 221 attacks. And so he's going to be going to town on this dude. 9 damage. We still haven't inflicted bleeding, which I don't think undead are immune to, but I could be wrong. Draw blood. I'm pretty sure I saw it happening in tests. Did it not go? Well, he's about to die. He's 4 HP left. He manages to run off. But in this case, it's not going to matter. His quickness, so we're going to have trouble chasing him down. I wonder if we missed a swing on him that last time. If you hit C here, it'll do commanders only. Let's take a look at the very end. Oh, he's getting hit by the aura. Yeah, doesn't look like we got any swings off. But in this case, it sucks because we don't get any of that juicy gear. But he still is dead because this is where he was. He was completely isolated. There's nowhere for him to run. So GTFO, mission accomplished. Next up, we have some spells being cast. We search for magic sites with Voice of Apsu, and of course we don't find any. Because if you ever spend gems on remote site searches, unless you're playing Hinnom, you never find anything. Playing Hinnom, you can find a shit ton of stuff. Sweetwater Currents. So this is our god off my porch. He found a water site underwater. Can you imagine? And then we found a Glen of Verdant Greenery, so +1 nature. I thought I found one more site. Oh, Sky Split Oak. Yeah, so we got an air, a water, and a nature gem. So not bad. +3. Coming down here, we had a fair amount of battles here. This is our... this we were just kicking people off our fort. He had a little group. I knew he wasn't going to keep people here, but... what are we going to do? Here he is raiding me underwater. No mage support, which means I can cloud trapeze some dude on to just murder all these guys. I don't know if this is a merc squad. I think it is. Yeah, it is. So we'll have to go kill those. Where are we here? Down here, he is continuing to raid. I can't remember which province this is. This is the province that I had raided from him previously. So anyway, he just took that back. And then here we have the big battle. I'm going to hit V before you guys can actually see what happens. I don't think... it's actually a kind of complicated battle. So on my side, we have a bunch of ghosts. Spooky, spooky ghosts. On this side, I have a shit ton of death mages, which are pretty good for dust to dust. Some of them maybe even Wither Bones. I forget if Wither Bones is Death 3 or Death 2. And then a bunch of Storm Guard. He's got this idiot. Okay, so actually I'm going to put it kind of slow. So there goes Wailing Winds. That's the first thing up. I knew that was coming. Which is annoying because my ghosts aren't perfect morale. He has a bunch of guys take off and land. And now these guys in front are going to be in trouble because... if we look at their stats, they've got 14 defense, which is pretty good, and then real darkness, which I think we have up now. These guys have kind of shit attack. It's only 9. So they're going to be missing a fair amount against 14, or at least hitting the shield. And then we have decent protection now with mass protection up. We have, 10 protection. So that combined, and we have pierce resistant, because I did... Skeletal Legion. So they're really, if you just watch here, like, these guys are completely surrounded by units that are meant to hard counter them, like, on all sides, and they're basically just hanging out. Like, they're taking forever to die. And this first wave was just a complete sacrificial wave designed to eat dust to dust and all the other things. Meanwhile, the real squad is back here, and they have completely torn apart the Raptorian warriors here. He did also get life after death off, so... once this guy gets killed, you'll see he swaps into basically a undead form. But we're a little bit on the clock, which sucks because he has a lot of dudes, because eventually our guys are going to rout from Wailing Winds. Which we knew. But he's also on the clock, because eventually all his guys are going to fatigue out from Rigor Mortis. And right now all his mages are already fatigued out. My ghosts, however, are not. So right now, if things were just... things right now are in my favor. There's gonna be the occasional banishment, whatever. We got anti-magic off too, so our magic resistance is the shit. The problem is Wailing Winds. You can see my guys already starting to retreat up here. Now his guys are probably... no, they're not broken. Because I was going to say, I have a fair amount of fear aura. Like, yeah, okay, these guys are broken. But they're also fatigued out. So this is like fatigue play meets morale play. You can see now the route on my side is a bit more extreme, if you will. And now we've had kind of a general break in the last squad. And in reality, I have lost probably less than he has. His lines are bolstered by Skelly Spam, because he has a lot of mage support. If I wasn't fighting Atlantis, I could bring, 10, or not 10, probably like 8 grand lemurs. And I would have a lot of mage support too, but I just don't. Because I'm fighting Atlantis. And I'm site searching. Okay, so I think darkness has disappeared. My darkness guy has decided better of this battle. And right now it's looking like I'm going to lose, but it's a weird situation because all his guys are fatigued out. He can't really do much. I've got one squad up here which hasn't broken yet. He's got his skeletons still fighting me, but skeletons do not do well against mass protection ghosts. And he's got the occasional dust to dust coming out. Because occasionally his guys are going to tick off of being fatigued out. Some of them are going to be fatigued out the rest of combat. Some of them will occasionally wake back up. That's kind of just how rigor mortis works. It's kind of like a random walk, but it's kind of like break even. Okay, my guy's casting dust to dust as we're churning through the undead. And what would be like a never-ending wave of undead is really just a bunch of sleeping mages. And this Grand Lemur is now marching forward. We're going to pick up the speed here, but I want to... These guys have finally broken, and so the undead are kind of coming through, as well as a couple of these guys, but... Oops. And these guys are really only awake because they have Summon Earth Power on them. We turn on team code squares because there's going to be a lot of undead coming out now. And this guy with his dudes on guard command are actually doing a lot of work. Now, he gets hit with one of the dust to dusts, which is a bit unfortunate. And then these guys die in both forms because they had Twiceborn on, or not Twiceborn, Life After Death. And then that guy gets killed in both forms. And then this guy does Drain Life, and all of a sudden, my guy who got smacked by Dust to Dust is back up to full HP. So iFlight doing God's work. Unfortunately, iFlight is blind, but fortunately, that doesn't matter. -9 defense? Holy shit, I have a lot of defense. Wait, why am I not getting a stat penalty? Wait, blind -9? Oh, I guess it just makes up for all these. Okay. I guess I just have really high defense. It doesn't show up in the display, though. More undead. And so it looks like iFlight might solo win us this battle. His Undead Legion pour forth. And they should just start killing everything. Now he needs to really do a few more spells, is what he really needs to do. Oh, as he's killing people, they wake up, and when they become undead, I think they lose fatigue. We should be able to watch this. Yeah, once they switch forms, they actually go back to 0 fatigue. So, it's actually interesting. I'm not sure if I knew that. But that's kind of how all these undead... It's been important, because that's how these undead have died. They've killed these guys, and then they wake up as undead with some... they're no longer passed out. They are reanimated. And they kill some of my undead. So now he's doing Mind Burn. And now the battle's timed out. So we were a bit on the clock with that, but God, iFlight was the fucking man. If we had 20 more turns, he would have killed everybody, I think. Though there would have been some drama, because every time he kills a death mage, they could potentially dust to dust him. So this would have been pretty drama-filled going through. But yeah, there we go. So we killed everything but this. And there's a lot of mages that are left here, but we killed a few. These are expensive. So if we look at what did this cost me? It cost me 155 gold mage and about a third of a turn of undead and about probably 12 gems of casting stuff. What did it cost him, you ask? Well, cost him 4 cap-only mages, which were not Twiceborn, because I went and checked. So that's about 1,200 gold. One of these idiots, so that's about 1,300 gold. And then he lost about 70 Stormguard, we'll say. And so that's about 1,300 gold. So we'll call it 2,600 total. And then 60 of these guys. And so that puts us at 32... Yeah, 3,200. Maybe I did my math a little wrong. I think that's about right. And then these guys, 15 gold apiece. So another 300. So about 3,500 gold. And it's possible I had a brain fart while I was doing that. But anyway, it was expensive. That's the point. Yeah, he got basically riggedy wrecked. So his dreams of taking my shit hopefully are beginning to fade. And this comes at a good time because I sent him a message which said, you're not going to get any of my infrastructure. And if I sent him that message, and then he killed my army and proceeded to get my infrastructure, well, wouldn't that suck? I think it would. We take this province back from Calum. Take the... What is this? Oh, this we were raiding. I wonder if they had a fort that was being built here. Got an Earth Gnome. This is our stealth squad coming through. So everybody here is stealthy. And they get crushed pretty good. We lost a shade, which is unfortunate, but otherwise pretty small losses. But that's good, because that's one more thing for him to worry about. I wonder if it says if we killed... It doesn't say anything. It would be nice if we killed a fort coming up. And we have the final battle. I haven't actually seen this. This is the final battle between Arco and Gath. Arco is AI, so he probably didn't do anything. But there's... You know, while I would of course love him to be here and inflict maximum punishment on Gath, you know... What are you gonna do? The real player probably couldn't have done too much more. And yeah, I would say that was riggedy wrecked. So that is the end of Arco. Now the question is, does Gath immediately turn south and deal with... Satis coming here is actually potentially really good or really bad. It's going to slow the degree to which he can eat Bogarus. But it also, which is good, because I don't want him eating Bogarus, but it also increases the likelihood he decides to turn north and fight me. And he has kind of convinced me he doesn't want to fight me, but I'm not super convinced. We'll find out. Is that it? For events. Air gyms and unrest. And we got... Oh, where is this? The Independence attacked him? Oh, here, I think? Oh, no, that's Arco. Oh, here, right next door. Blind. So we'll see. I think this is Satis's. So his army must have fully marched down here. And he's declared war against me, so I could go for a play on this throne, but if I do that, I have to also be able to take this. There's been a fort getting built here for like 8 turns. I think he's forgotten about it. So now we have to figure out what we're going to do. And I haven't played this turn yet. I just kind of wanted to record it a little bit hot off the press. But what the hell are we going to do? So, you know, obviously, I'm going to assume Calum's not going to make peace as we're talking through this. If he does, it's going to... If Calum does, I think we attack Bogarus, like, immediately. Or Satis. And I think if we do that, we damn near secure the game for us. Yeah, so I think that's basically what's going to happen. Like, attack reasonably easy targets. Yeah. if he doesn't do that, like if we don't have peace, and I have to keep fighting him, would I have killed this army? Let's see what these guys were going to cast. Twice Born, okay. Water, a bunch of shit. I don't even see Wailing Winds coming up. Okay, if you're playing Atlantis and it's turn whatever this is, like this almost turn 60. You have to do Wailing Winds every fight. This is ridiculous. Turn 47, but still. You need to have, you absolutely should have Wailing Winds every fight, and I see no signs of Wailing Winds. One of the really annoying things about fighting Atlantis. Or not every fight, because you're going to be limited by how many air randoms you get. Like, this guy should be doing Wailing Winds. Yeah, we would have killed these guys. I mean, it would have been a lot cleaner if we had crossbows and stuff. Do I have crossbows here? I think they're in Marignan. Oh no, I moved them south. Got some more scouts. He attacked here, which is odd, because this is really territory promised to Gath. It's income, though, so we'll probably raid it back. Probably take this. This is a pretty valuable province. 3-gem province. So we'll probably have a Timu come down here and take it back. And then we'll probably just raid this back. I'm not super worried about Magic Phase attack stuff. If I'm raiding him and I'm doing it on my border, I can just retreat out of it in case I get Magic Phased attack. But I really should not be... Every single province that is near me, I should be raiding every turn, except maybe this one, because it literally gives nothing. It doesn't even matter who has it. Except I guess I could get luck events from it. So it's potentially... I mean, that's super marginal value. I also have the gear that I have finished forging. I don't have a console. I guess I could put it on Arch Chronics, which I think I'll do. But here's basically the kit. We've got this, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this. This will kill the King of Elemental Earth with his current gear setup. Oh, and this. And if we want to be damn sure of it... See, our protection's pretty good. I could still get dusted if he moves a lot of idiots, like mages. But I don't think that's going to happen. What I think he's going to do is, if I just had to guess, is that he's going to take his King of Elemental Earth right here. And just check and make sure he has the same gear. Highly unlikely they swapped, but yeah. So he could take this guy. He's got a couple plays. He could basically do a retreat and come here. He could come here, which, you know, fine. Or he could come back here. I feel like this is the more obvious thing, because it seems like he's going to want to assault this way. If I keep fighting Caleb 2, I feel like Mass Flight is something I'm going to want. And it will potentially win me one battle. Where he did, like, this battle, I don't think he put Storm up. Yeah, no Storm this battle. So, Mass Flight is one of the ways to get around Wailing Winds. And it would kill a lot of his mages. And so anyway, it's only going to work once, because he's going to be storming thereafter. But I think I have the tech already, don't I? Oh no, I have to... Fuck, I gotta get one more. Yeah. Don't know if it's worth it. But honestly, things like Alteration, like Army of Golden stuff's really good, but it's not going to help that much with the morale plays. I mean, what I can do is put... what I can do is I can put some of my morale gear on a console, like Coalesced here. I don't know if I have a horn. Don't. But anyway, I could do other things to kind of give bonus morale. And so anyway, this guys under him are going to have +4 morale, so that's 19 morale. They'll be resistant to Wailing Winds, but given enough time, they'll still break. And until I can resist Wailing... But I mean, there's other things too. There's Wrathful Skies. But will Ground Arm... I mean, I'll get Ground Army. But it's a little bit pickier poison. And Wrathful Skies is going to one-hit kill ghosts. Because how much is it? I forget if it's 10 or 15. 15. Yeah, this is going to one-hit... So I guess there's no point in me just doing Ground Army, because they're still going to die in one hit. And then Mass Region's not going to help, because they die in one hit. The only thing that is going to help versus basically all of his battlefield-wide stuff is ending the battle quickly or killing him despite... well, fuck. Because I'm thinking he's got life after death up in most of these fights too now. Because, like, I could kill him in spite of, you know, having my army route, so, like, Foul Vapors or something. I'm trying to think what I could do. I mean, the Immortals are obviously... Like, I could just bring a lot more Immortals, but that's really expensive. I feel like Wrathful Skies is going to be really... It's going to come out and surprise the shit out of me whenever he does it. I mean, I'm going to try not to be surprised, but... And this is a good player. Some players are like, oh, is he thinking about Wrathful Skies? Like, I know this guy's thinking about it. He doesn't want to do it unless he feels he needs it, but I bet you after this one, I bet you the next big fight I have with him is going to have Wrathful Skies up. So I think with Caleb, my best bet now, put up lots of rating pressure, keep my Magic Phase dudes ready to jump on dudes that are like this guy we could potentially jump on. I don't think I can easily take his infrastructure. I think the only way... Because the thing is, what are the things I have to check off to take infrastructure from Caleb? I have to be able to survive Wailing Winds, and have my army not all fucking run. I have to be able to survive Wrathful Skies, which... Let me just say is going to be really fucking hard. I can't think of how I'm going to do that. You know, yeah, there's just not much of a way at this point. So anyway, I have to survive that. Then I have to be able to survive his super combatants, which is either like King of Elemental Earth or some kind of equivalent. And then I have to be able to survive his little white mage thugs, and potentially multiple of them. And then a whole chorus of guys like mage support backing his armies up. And if I go on the offense, the thing is, he gets, like this, if he's attacking me, he gets to kind of say, hey, I'm going to attack with X, and then I get a chance to respond. If I'm attacking him, I'm going to have a big army sitting on top of a fort, and it's going to need to be enough to one-turn pop it, probably, so that he doesn't get all sorts of time to respond, but still it's going to be a lot. And then he's just going to... I don't think I can have anything that's going to have a counter to all those present right now. Mass Flight with Drain Life spam with... But then he just storms if I'm going to Mass Flight. How did I do flanking here? Let's watch this battle again and just see how successful the flanking was. I think with flies it doesn't really work. Because I think... Yeah, none of the flanking worked here. I just kind of descend on it wherever. God, a lot of people are running even at the beginning. Like, this is something I would love to pick off. Bunch of ice clads all out in the open. But anyway, we can't do that quite yet. Next turn we will have Well of Misery, and then I don't think I have enough to take it yet. But I think it is worth saving for. But I'm probably going to cast with like 400 or something, so it might... God, that's almost 10 turns. That's a long time to wait. I feel like I need to. I want to deny it from everybody else. Yeah, I'm not sure. Gath is going to get... Okay, the thing is, and I think this is my biggest thing, why I'm going for Alteration is mostly for Gath. And I'm going to have Wailing Winds my own. And I'll have Wind of Death. I don't have Plague. Plague will be potentially useful too. But Gath is the other part of this equation. I need to get... I could focus on living castling some of this up too, like here. Because I've already got this fort up, and then this fort's coming this turn. These are getting upgraded. This is probably a pretty safe location to put another fort. Though I kind of want to fort this up too, but I'm at war with Satis, even though we're not fighting. So there's a very high likelihood he decides to jump me here. And if I put an army there, we're going to have other problems. I want to get a huge water bank to do a Vengeful Waters cast, and so I think that's just where all my water is going to go. And I've got a lot of water income, 15 a turn. So we're just going to let that pile up, and then in not too long I'm going to do like a 300 or 400 Vengeful Water casting, and people can suck it. What else? Yeah, we've got our Sea King here too, which we can potentially use. Oh, this is pretty low value, but I probably should still be taking it back every turn. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna kind of call it for this episode here. I haven't really said too much of what I'm going to do, but there's not a ton of super hot action. We've got, I mean, we had it this turn in the battles, but I think preparing for next turn, Calum, I think, is going to be forced to abandon this position. I've also got a Bane Venom Charm here. So some of my guys got diseased from Skeletal Legion, but probably some of them, at least one of them, might have gotten diseased from Bane Venom Charm, and I'm sure he's got some guys here who are diseased too, so he's welcome to bring more. But yeah, we can do this every turn. And yeah, I think that's about it, folks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.